next episode of Waifu Wars. I am Tokiko's impromptu face piercing, Drooby-Doo.
And I am now on Team Akane, so Roni.
And welcome to this week's episode of the Waifu Wars podcast, where we talk about all things anime, the good, the bad, and the weeb, but not your waifu, because she is trash. What's going on, Oni?
I just started my diet, so I'm a bit hungry, but other than that, I'm doing good.
Oh my god, wait, what does that consist of?
I can't have more than 1,800 calories a day, and I fast between, I can only eat between 10 and 8.
Oh my god, intermittent fast.
Intermittent fast, yep.
Yeah, that word, fasting. Oh man, I am going to pray for you because
yes, it's gonna be fun. It's a fun adventure.
Know me as I'm just like meanwhile I'm like, wow, I can't wait to eat my apple pie a la mode tonight. Looking forward to it so much.
And of course my parents are like, let's go drinking. I'm like, oh great, I can't wait to only have like water or really light calorie
can't you
beer,
I don't
beer,
know, can't you
alcohol.
Can't you have like I don't know, like
have a gin and tonic or like a vodka seltzer.
Exactly, something with seltzer or tonic water.
Oh wow, that's so tasty.
I mean, I didn't say.
Well, I do like gin and tonic.
Wait, or you can get you can get a flavored vodka with tonic water or seltzer.
True. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll have to experiment. I'm gonna have to have a whole new drink lineup just for this diet.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wish you well. Everything's good over here. I'm kind of baking alive in my room right now. It's warming up. My stream deck is going in and out for some reason. And it's Memorial Day and there's lots of traffic. There's part of me I'm like, damn, I should have closed my door, but if I do, I think I actually might I might be dead.
I can't afford to close it.
I can't. You're right. I can't close. I don't think I can close it all the way. I'm so sorry, guys. You're gonna have to hear the honk honks.
It's part of New York.
Right. Just listen. Just think of that as the background audience, also chiming in with their opinions. So without any further ado, let's get this podcast started, and we're going to start off with our new segment this week in anime. Let's just go real quick. According to AnimeNewsNetwork.com, Korean webtoon accused of using AI images tracing Mushoku Tensei anime. So the Blue Line Studios manhwa adaptation, and for those who don't know, manhwa is just like Korean manga. But their adaptation of Saramsa Ryo's Singwa Hamke Doraun Gisaran. The night king who returned.
You sound like you're chanting a spell from a fucking tome right now. I'm like, are you trying to summon Satan?
Yeah. The night king who returned with the god. I definitely should have learned how to say the name. Just because I saw the English version of it 100 times. I didn't even bother to work on my Korean pronunciation. My bad, Koreans. Anyways, so readers were quick to point out that the art looked AI generated because of the consistencies between like panels and odd shapes of the characters' fingers, which is to be fair, that is a total sign of AI, because AI, for whatever reason, they can't do fingers.
Yeah, no, they come out with like weird amounts of fingers, hands, legs.
Like everything would be looking picture perfect, like copy and paste, and then they get fingers and it's like crab claws or some shit. But yeah, so also there's this one random character that looks like Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy, which is funny. It's just like a random shot of Groot if Groot was in a fantasy world. Yeah. And they downrated it to hell. Apparently It is as of now, it's the lowest scored chapter of all webtoons on Naver Webtoon website, with the score of 1.91. Woo!
Damn.
Almost
out of 2. Let's go.
Right. Have you seen the pictures?
No.
I can send you the tweet real quick. And it's like, I look at it, I'm just like, it's like on, it's like, I'm very 50-50 on it. Because Mushoku Tensei, in terms of their character designs, they're not like too specific, if that makes any sense. And Mushoku Tensei, it's like generic, kind of in a lot of ways, at least from these still shots, it's generic, like, anime character 1, and then generic anime character 2.
I kind of get your point,
but it also it does look similar. It does look similar, but they also just like like it just looks like a baby. Like it's not like Rudius doesn't look crazy. Like Rudius looks like.
No, I think the Zenith one is more of a indictment against the manga than the Rudy one. Yeah, because it's just a baby with like blonde hair and blue eyes or whatever. But yeah, the Zenith one is a bit close.
It's close. I mean, they have different hair, different eye color, different shade, different tone. Like their skin tone is different. Like they just have the same kind of "I'm a mother" pose, which I've seen before.
Have very similar hair and
their hair looks completely different. What are you talking about?
No, it looks
the
very
hairstyle
similar. And they're making
different.
similar expressions.
Yeah, the expressions I will that much is true. Yes, they're making very similar facial expressions, but I would say the eyes are kind of similar. The hairstyles are completely different. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
No, they're very similar.
How? There's more distinction in the on the left. The woman,
there's more detail on the left, but
exactly
as an overall hairstyle, it's very similar. It's a very of all the hairstyles you can do, you're gonna pick that specific style.
Short hair. Right. This is not anime girls with short hair
with the bang over the eye and the.
A lot of girls have bangs.
and
these bangs are different.
I'm about to see. Does he also have a lowly blue-haired twin-tailed teacher that shows up? Are you gonna be like, lots of blue-haired twin-tailed lowly teachers are in anime?
Excuse me. Listen, I'm just saying. I'm not saying it did.
I think it's the combination. Having that Rudius with that, or that Rudius lookalike with that Ares or Zenith lookalike. Maybe if it wasn't the same, like if it was different mangas or something.
No, the hairstyles are very different. The hairstyles are very different. Only the hair length is the same. Literally just the hair length. These hairstyles are completely different.
They're not.
It's literally one. Yeah, like
it's not like one has cornrows and the other's bald.
Yes,
they're very.
No, yes,
Zenith could easily pull off like 1, 2, 3 to whip her hair up, and she looks exactly
if she. Left. I will say high key though, like. No, that's not true. That's not true. I was gonna say, Koreans are better than doing hair, but that's not true. I just happen to read more webtoons and in those drawings, of course, it's easier to get the hair done. And we're comparing this to the anime, where, that's why I'm like they're different, because like, what's her name's hair? Her hair is completely uniform. She doesn't really have a bang. It's actually a part down the middle with like a little bit of hair poking out, as opposed to the girl on the left, like her hair is like it's spilling over her face, but that's just because, like I said, it's drawn, not animated.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was very interesting. The Groot thing. Well, okay, let me just give you the article. Like wait, you saw the Groot thing, right? Like that. Yeah. That just looks like
that's
Groot.
just copy.
That's just Groot. Like that's just Groot, girl.
There's lots of druidic tree spirit looking monsters in lore.
You're
fantasy
right, but they don't
lore.
all look like Groot. That's like a literal copy. I see that is a literal copy and paste. We can say the two moms, their hairs are different. This is just like, yeah, no, this is the same thing. Whew. But anyways, in response to the criticism, Moonlight Studios explained that apparently that the images were not AI generated, but they did use AI to apply finishing touches to the art. And I'm like, what finishing touch? Like, did you make a stick figure and said AI finish the rest?
Finish the rest. They just drew a line. Like, do the rest. AI take the wheel. Apply the finishing touch.
But yeah, so they said that they're no longer gonna be using AI assistants in the future.
We gotta have a whole thing on AI art, but not this.
Yes,
podcast.
that's
like a whole separate thing.
Right, like
that's a really good filler arc topic.
That is one we'll be having down the line. We already have a filler arc topic.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, all right, I guess we're just gonna get right down into it.
Wait, I gotta do my news.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Oni. Please.
Damn, trying to skip over.
I know. I was just really. It's like I really just want to get into it because that would be like the perfect segue.
I know you want the drama. Too bad. We gotta ruin the segue. So over here, this is kind of just like I have to give my weekly updates on Magical Girl Raising Project's anime. So the second season of Magical Girl Raising Project Twitter account went live on, I think, earlier this week. So they're really gearing up to make an announcement for when the anime is going to start and all that. But one of the most interesting things about this Twitter account is that they're taking merch ideas from just fans in general. They're like, oh, tweet at us with your merch ideas. And they're saying it doesn't have to be limited to Restart, which is the second arc. So that leads us to believe that they might have plans to animate more than just the second arc.
Oh my god, which means they're gonna animate the best arc?
Yes. And also, they're hyping up that this is going to be a multimedia production, which means it's not just the anime, but something else. And they're implying that it might be a game. So that's also a possibility. We might get a Magical Girl Raising Project.
I need to read the third one again.
It's so good. I just reread it, and it's like, I'm like, it can't be as crazy as it was when I first read it. I'm like, oh yeah, no, it's still fucking wild. If that shit ever gets animated, my body will leave, the soul will leave the planet over how wild that shit will be.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't wait. Oh my god, I love this one.
I'm super hyped for it. But yeah, that's my news. Just a little bit of an update.
Yes.
It's happening.
Thank you. That made me so much happier. And that happiness will offset the incoming depression. Right, exactly. So now that we're done with our news, it's time for our weekly review. And for our first episode, it will also kind of be the filler arc because, you know, there's been a controversy that I feel like it'd be almost like a miss to just pretend like it's not there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're gonna be talking about the controversy surrounding episode 6 of Oshinoko.
Yes.
So what has happened is, first of all, for those who don't know, the premise on episode 6 was essentially a bunch of teenagers doing a reality show, which include the main character. One of the cast members, Akane, she, by accident, she scratches another cast member's face, and in response, like that part gets aired, and essentially she gets cyberbullied until the point where she attempts to commit suicide. Oh, by the way, trigger warning. We are going to be talking about, like I literally said, suicide. I apologize for not even saying it before. I literally told myself. See, I was ready to do this last night, and I totally forgot about. Totally forgot about it. But yes, trigger warning. So it is not your tea. Like, please skip like 5, 10, 20-ish minutes, or literally just cut to Demon Slayer. Period. Because that's literally what episode 6 and 7 of Oshinoko talks about.
Yes.
Anywho, so Akane attempts to commit suicide, and the main character Aqua saves her last second. Now it's become a controversy because people are accusing the anime of pulling this from the terrace house incident, where a cast member, Hana Kimura, after an incident on the show Terrace House, she ended up taking her life back in May 2020, which also, this episode, her mother went to Twitter being very upset, being like, how dare you air this around the anniversary around her death, so it just looks really, really bad in general. So yeah, that is the that's the gist of it, of what's happening. Now, those are asking what was what happened about what happened to Hannah that apparently allegedly the mangaka used as inspiration. Allegedly. I'm gonna be using that word a lot. So let's start at the beginning. Terrace House is basically your typical. It's like it's basically Real World, the Japanese version. Have you ever seen Terrace House, Sony?
No, I've not even seen the Real World.
They had it on Netflix. I think I watched one season of it, or like one cycle of it. Not this one, but I've definitely watched it before. That's why I was shocked. I was shocked because I was like, Terrace House. What does Terrace House have to do with this? So the incident that happened with Hana, she's getting to an altercation with this other dude who apparently like shrunk her costume in the wash during laundry, and she was a wrestler, so obviously that was very important to her. And they have a whole fight about it, and then she goes up to the dude and like grabs the hat and like throws it and just walks away. And that's the incident that prompted like her whole thing, where that started all the cyberbullying. That's the incident that started it.
I didn't know it was that minor. I thought she just like punched somebody or something. Man, Japanese people need to go watch American reality television.
So let's start there. Because
that's like the most tame thing I've ever heard.
Because they literally said, after the incident, because she's a wrestler, they were saying it's incident, and I literally.
Yeah, I thought she like suplexed him through the glass table.
No, like I thought, like they're saying, like she put hands on him. Like that's what the some Reddit posts as well as some Twitter posts were implying, that like she got physical with him. And it's like, yes, I'm not saying it is okay to go up in the person's face and like take their hat and I'm not saying that is cool, but it's. But you guys make it sound like it's assault. In the grand scheme of
things, it's extremely minor.
Exactly. Like I am shocked, and it was just that. I was like, what? Like I looked it up on YouTube myself. Like I was prepping myself. I'm like, oh gosh, she's about to punch him or some shit. It's about to get really nasty. Girl, she just took the hat off, threw it, and just walked away. I was like, if you saw what they did on Jersey Shore.
Yeah, nah. I'm pretty sure I've seen like reality shows where women will just like walk up to a guy and start slapping him and slicing him up with nails and shit.
Which is not okay. Assault is
Yeah, it's not
assault is
okay.
not assault.
I'm just saying that's what happens normally
Right,
in American reality television.
I mean, they don't do that too. Like that's depending on the show. I don't know. Like
it's not rare. Let's put it that way. I guess yeah. They don't do it on MasterChef, but they
no,
will
but they don't do it. They don't
do
do it on They don't do it on Real Housewives either. Like it's
don't the housewives fight each other?
no. Those fights are extremely rare because like no, they don't play with that. They don't play around that. They're like, y'all start fighting each other. We're just kicking you off.
Yeah, they used to do it in the old days of reality television.
Yeah, maybe during the start.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so for her to be bullied over that, that is, to me, that was like so insane to learn that. It was very upsetting. For me, it was like what a waste of life. Like over something so stupid. And yeah, the very interesting thing is and this was excuse me. So according to an interview with the mother, Kyoko Kimura, just very much like Oshinoko, the producers encouraged her to hype it up. They wanted to stress the fact that she's a wrestler and make her aggressive, even though that's not where she wants to take it at all. That whole incident, they did want her to assault him, but she refused to slap. She said I refused to hurt him, and she compromised and slapped the hat off the head. Which I 100% believe they would say to do something like that. I feel like the producers saw what was happening in American TV and said, "Hey, let's do it over here." But I think they didn't take into effect the culture. There's such a cultural difference that like the implications of doing something like that will be far worse in Japan than it would be in the US. I don't think they took that into consideration. Well, they wanted their views, for better or for worse. And they did, like I said, they did a good job of highlighting that in this week's episode of Oshinoko, episode 7.
Yeah.
Into
the whole meddling by the directors and the production committee.
Yeah, the fact that, they had the footage everyone made of making up, but why would we show that when we can just, we can paint her as like, oh, I cut her for my man, which it doesn't even make any sense. But let's see, there's another part, because that's one thing I wanted to talk about. The second thing was whether or not the people alleging that the mangaka took this idea. And before we talk about that, I just want to point out that, just a reminder that this anime is kind of, there's two mangaka working on this. I think Agasaka, who did Love is War, I think he's taking the helm on this. But the mangaka in charge of Kuzuno Honkai, I think she's more in charge of the art direction. I think that's from the articles I've read about their collaboration on this anime in general.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too.
She's more in charge of the art direction. Excuse me.
Thank God.
But yeah, so I've been looking. I've been looking to see if there's any correlation, because as of even to this day, you know, he's kept a tight lip about whether this was inspired by the terrace house incident,
right?
And you know, I kind of look back at when this manga was published and when the incident happened. It's it doesn't look good. It doesn't look great.
Well, I was gonna say so Oshi no Ko's original run was first published in April 2020. April 2020, and the incident occurred in May. Right?
Yeah, so literally a month after. It's like that's what I mean. I'm not. This is all I'm just saying it doesn't look great. I'm not saying this is definitive. I'm not saying, yes, haha, guilty bitch. I'm not saying any of that.
Well, I would say the opposite. I would think that scene would have already been storyboarded by the time that the whole incident happened. I mean, I guess maybe he didn't.
That's what I want to. That's what I want to believe. That's
Akasaka strikes me as the type of guy who plans out his stories. Yes. I'm sure as a major, publisher would probably want him to have like a few chapters already done, and this is relatively early on, so I would assume this is already a plot point.
Right. That's what I was thinking. I was like, there's no... I know it lines up in a way that at a first glance, it looks bad. But you're right. He seems very methodical in planning his stuff out. So I feel like he would already kind of have this... At least as an idea of this started... Oh, I mean, ultimately, this is all conjecture. I can't say. I don't know what his schedule was looking like. Excuse me, because it is so awfully like 1-to-1 in a lot of ways. I will say this. My only real gripe, my only real critique for the anime, for excuse me, for an episode like this to come out on such a controversial thing, like the anniversary of her death, it's like, oof. I think, I don't know, I feel like I don't know. I feel like maybe a heads up would have been could have been warranted, potentially. Not even so much like asking of permissions, because like we said, we don't know if this is based off of the terrace house incident. But for it to come out on the anniversary, ooh, you can't. I feel for Kyoko so much, because even if it didn't happen, she's and I talked about this with my sister about it yesterday, and she brought up the fact that she's making a big deal about this is because she's triggered. She's triggered about what happened, and how could she not? It's literally 1-to-1 comparison happening on the anniversary, completely blindsided by it. I just hope that whoever has to contacts her. I don't need the whole big announcement. No, I did not plan for this. I just need someone to clear up with her. She's the one who needs the closure, not I. But
I mean, that's fair.
hmm
My take on this is I understand where she's coming from. Obviously, like I try to put myself in that position. If somebody I love died in that way, or in any way, and then like a show came out and had such a 1-to-1 parallel with that what happened, I'd be triggered and I'd be like, "Fuck this show," and I'd probably also try to sue it and like, or at least go out crazy about it. But at the same time, I also don't feel like you can't monopolize some scenario because someone you love died from that scenario. Like you know what I mean? Like if there was another show that came out in America where some reality TV show character person committed suicide because of cyberbullying, she can't come out and be like, "Well, that happened to my daughter, so you can't do that." Like that's not how that works. If somebody I love got hit in a car or killed in a car crash, I can't be like, "That's it. Fiction cannot depict car crashes anymore."
mm.
So I get her side and I'm empathetic towards it, but I don't feel that she has necessarily the right to tell a creator what he can and can't include in his work because it triggers her.
No, I don't think I don't think that's what she's doing. I don't think that's what she's doing per se. I just think she just jumped to assumptions with really poor timing,
Mm-hmm.
and she's triggered because she feels like once again some type of media is trying to make money off of
Yeah, I
her
know.
daughter.
I'm sure she's not in the she's not in love with media right now.
Exactly.
Although
That's
I
what
will
I think
say
that's what she thinks is happening all over again.
I think the irony is that yes, it did portray a similar situation what happened to her daughter, but it portrayed it in a very
Yes.
respectful and I think
That
in a way that would actually lead to
yes.
constructive, prevention of this happening in the future. So like, I feel like this is a case of friendly fire. You don't want to
Right.
like it'd be one thing if they were just depicting this if the guy was just being an asshole about it or whatever, being like, I just want to put shock value in my show and completely disrespect the memory of your daughter or anyone else who committed suicide from cyberbullying. But I think that this is like the one of the few cases where wow, there was actually a point to this. Like it handled the heavy subject matter
Yes,
respectfully.
it actually handled it very well.
Mm-hmm.
It
It's probably the best I've ever seen a show handle suicide.
mhm. A thousand, yeah, 1,000%. Like, and it's not just, and it's done in a way that it makes sense. It's not. It's like yes, it's an anime. It's fictional, so I guess he wants to give that happy ending, but it's like a happy ending that makes sense almost. Like it's not just like, oh, things are gonna turn around based off of dreams and happiness and rainbows busting out of my booty. It's, it was an actual effort where we had to break down how people consume social media and how people react into instances like this. How they I love how they picked it apart, and especially in this episode, everyone wants to there's the majority of people are actually the ones who they don't know which way to go, so they're not saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
Um and then how everyone they come together and basically manipulate the public and showing them like, no, this is how we really love, and this is how we really love each other or show love for one another. It was like the manipulation of social media, but for like the good cause.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Aqua does that very well this episode. Um, the cast coming together to lift her up, which is very sweet. But then, them talking about how are we gonna make a hit tweet. What are we gonna do with the I when I saw him editing, I really felt for him. Uh I was like, oh, relatable content.
Yeah, that is extraordinarily relatable content.
Like,
In fact, it's gonna be me tonight, so that's gonna be fun.
right. So that fatigue was very, very funny. um going back to, people alleging whether or not the mangaka knew about the whole terrace house incident. I was reluctant to talk about this because this is from Reddit. So take it with a huge lump of salt, not even a grain, a lump.
Mm-hmm.
But a user named Mikey underscore Maikey, they pulled up some tweets from Akasaka's Twitter from a few years ago. It depicts or shows tweets from Akasaka basically saying, at least, well, according to from Google Translate, basically saying, "Hey, I don't." He's like, "This is just bad timing." I think I'm gonna send this to Oni.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see, just see if we're on the same page, because it says it's sounding like, "Hey, this is just bad timing." I didn't, to keep that in mind as you're reading this.
Let's see.
No, excuse me. I just sent only that tweet.
Mm-hmm.
Mango did say that, and Mango, that's the person who, I guess that's the other name for the person who did Kuzuno Honkai. There's a status showing that she does watch Terrace House, like she's a fan of Terrace House. And to me, it's nothing super condemning per se. Like none of that. Like that seems very circumstantial. That shows that she's a fan of the Terrace House, and that potentially it could have been inspiration, not this incident with Hana Kimura, but she probably just could have taken inspiration from some other reality show or Terrace House. Like, the whole what happened to Akane is, like I said, it's not something that is specific to Hana Kimura. Like I said before, I think it was last week. Yeah, it was last week. The whole incident that happened with Drag Race All Star season 3 or 4, where that one Drag Race, I'm sorry, that drag queen was talking all that crap about this other drag queen, and then they framed it that she was just being mean and nasty for no reason, when, like, once again, it was the producers hyping her up. So I don't think it's anything damning. There's no real evidence proving that he was doing something like this.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like it's all circumstantial at best.
Yeah.
I just, my heart goes out to the memory of Hana and her mother. I know, just because. Excuse me. It's because the production, like, I don't know, the whole thing about reality TV. That's one of the reasons why I feel like I can never do. I feel like I can do reality TV. Maybe no, I don't know. It would depend on what it is. But I know if I did reality TV, like, I would probably I'd either be like the bitch of the show, or like the fun, like the fun guy who's just like saying stuff. Like there'd be no in between. I feel like
I couldn't. I just get along with everyone. I'm too.
But okay, but only, I feel like I feel like you know how I am. Like I'm not super confrontational, but it's like if I want something away, I'm going to be very adamant about it. That's the word.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very adamant about I want to do this way because X, Y, and Z. Which can be, you know, the producers could have a field day with that. But yeah, so is there anything else I want to say about it? Oh, the end of the episode. The end of the episode where can we talk about how Akane becomes very yandere?
I don't think it was super yandere. She's a method actor.
Right. Okay, but she got that yandere eye. She got the yandere eyes for a minute.
I do think she's gonna end up helping Aqua with finding out who his father is.
Oh yeah,
because she seems to be very good at that.
Yeah, the way she was doing all that, like, you know, there's methodical acting and there's what she did. That's all. That I think that's like borderline my only. It's not even a critique because at the end of the day, I find it like it was entertaining. Like,
oh no, she instantly became like she's up there tied with Kana for me for best girl in the show now. There is no bad girl on this show. Like all the girls were just excellent this episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Akane. I mean, listen, we lost Eye, but we got a better Eye now, so it's good. We're all good.
You did not just call her a better Eye. Don't do that. Wow, I can't believe you call her a better. That's why, yo, these hoes ain't loyal, and by hoes I mean Oni.
So, what do you think? All right, here's a question. What do you think would be worse, if Aqua ends up with Ruby, or if he ends up with Akane but has her act like I the whole
time? I still don't want him to be with his sister. So yeah, I still want that. Like, is that even a question?
So you do the you're fine with the Oedipus complex, the whole mommy situation he has going on with Akane.
To be fair, he was all into Ai before he was reincarnated as his son, which is a weird sentence to say. Like saying that sentence out loud sounds wild. But he was already into her like that. So like that, I'm fine with.
Still his mom.
No, it's someone acting like his mom. Who used to not be his mom.
That's so much better.
Also, listen, you asked me a question, that was my answer. I'll pick the guy acting like his idol turned mother, turned girlfriend, who's just acting like his mom, who used to be his idol.
I just hope he has a normal reaction. He just like run off and slap Akane next.
I thought it was gonna be a slap. I thought it was gonna be opposite a slap. Okay.
Yeah, it was kind of giving me like, oh.
I thought he was like, I'm in love with her. Like, I'm in love with you.
Be right back. I gotta change my pants.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of was gagged when she opened up her eyes and gave the whole star thing.
Yeah, that was perfect. Great mix with the ending song too. The ending song just came on. Also, side note, I appreciate that Kana is both the residential dumb meme girl and also like the super intelligent, like empathetic lore dumpy major character that just comes on and gives her wisdom when necessary.
She really does. She's like, let's break it down of what just happened.
Yeah. She has two modes, meme or super exposition, I know everything about everybody mode.
Yeah, which, sure, like, fine.
I'll take it.
Right.
I don't need an excuse.
I think it was a little heavy. I think it was a little heavy this episode, but okay, I guess.
Oh wait, was this your episode of the week, by the way?
That's it.
I'll give it a tie or something.
Right?
Else.
Yeah, I think I'll tie it. I will tie it because I like the way it came together. It was a very, once again, I really liked it because it was a very respectful way to tackle, you know, everything from the cyberbullying to the whole description, the whole deconstruction of reality stars. I think that was like masterfully done, like very well picked apart, especially the whole like, oh, people make what do they say? I forgot who said. I think also this came from Hannah. Either Hannah or Mem. Like they were both.
They're the two resident like sages of this anime.
Right.
They spout their wisdom.
One of them said, I think it was Kana who said, you know, people make personalities so that they make it as an armor. So that I guess if people attack it, it's like, oh, they're not attacking me; they're attacking who I portray on TV.
Yeah, I think that was also kind of.
I think that's probably why I couldn't do ET, because I don't think I would hype it up to do a certain thing. Like I would just be me.
You should just do a character and make him like an ultra straight, like masculine.
Oh my God. No, see, you already lost. You already lost.
Like, I'm here to get bitches.
You already lost me. No. Also, I know I probably get into a fight because I definitely
that's your characters. Your character has to get into fights.
I would never pick the fight, but I'd be like, hey, you clearly did something that's not cool. Why did you do that? And then they'd be like, nah, how dare you question my character, blah, blah, blah. Because, mama, let me tell you something. The way that's actually happened in real life multiple times, where I just say, hey, you did something not good. Stop attacking me. But yeah, it is what it is. Great episode. Great gowns, beautiful gowns. All right, let's move on because we literally cannot talk about this the entire podcast.
All right, that's the end of this podcast. Let's go, guys.
Oh my gosh, we spent how much time talking about it? Oh my God! All right, let's move on to Demon Slayer season 3, episode 8. You have Tokito's background story, which shout out to this anime because I was so tired. And I was like, oh God, no, background story. I'm just going to be not into it or not care. Nope. That's not what happened because...
Really? Oh, we're going to have different opinions on this episode.
I don't know. Okay, it's not like I was like, oh my God, this is episode of the week, but... You know, it was like, oh, I had a mom. And then I had a dad. And then they
that's
died.
the thing. I was expecting a twin, like, because he had a twin brother, and I was like, "Whoa, there's a twist."
That twin brother was a twist. They talked about the whole sad story about the mom and dad, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, better like I had a twin." I said, "Ooh."
No, but see what I was expecting was like you saw how he's still like bleeding out and everything, and then I thought at the end of his story it was going to be that his twin never died, and he's actually also Hashira, and it was two of them because they're identical twins. And then he comes in and starts fucking up the demon.
I thought for a split second
that would have been hype.
I thought for a split second that the twin that was bleeding out, I thought that was actually him. I thought he was actually
me too.
For a second,
I was like, "Oh my God, that's an ingenious twist!" And it was so many opportunities for there to be a really good twist. It's the anti M Night Shyamalan. Like you set up a great twist and you just don't do it.
You know what? I'll take that over. Well, I don't know. Not every M Night Shyamalan twist is bad. They're not all bad.
No, most of them.
They're not all bad. And you know, sometimes. Well, actually, you know what my gag is.
Well, I like M. Night Shyamalan, so
I just don't know any. I haven't seen any of the movies where it's a good twist.
I'm the opposite. I've only seen the ones with good twists. I've not seen any of his bad ones, except Avatar.
Wait, you saw Avatar?
Yeah.
Ew. Oh.
I know, it was horrible. The only two movies that were so bad that they weren't even entertaining, they were just bad, were that I've seen have been Avatar and the Mario movie, the original Mario movie from like the 90s. Those movies are just irredeemably
Oh wait, so
bad.
you didn't see the one where it was the one where it was a plot twist or spoilers, it was the trees all along.
No, I didn't see that.
Oh
my mom did.
I mean, it was amusing. That one was amusing.
That's what I mean. I can't hate that because it just I've seen clips and stuff.
Like
it's literally
it's so gagged where the dude started the lawnmower and literally just laid down as it was about to run his face over.
See, that sounds like a movie that's so bad it's good.
Right, it's like The Room, stupid.
Yeah, but no, I've only seen good ones like Sixth Sense and Invincible and was it Invincible or Unbreakable?
Wait, is it the one Bruce Willis?
Yeah,
I've seen that one. I just forgot what
the
it was.
The original one, not the sequels.
Oh, I only saw the original one.
It was good.
Yeah, I don't remember it, but yeah, I remembered I liked it.
Perfect time to rewatch it. Rewatch it now that you don't remember the twist, and then you get retwisted.
Not retwisted.
You get to relive the twist.
Not retwisted. But yeah, no, that was. Oh yeah, talking about Demon Slayer.
Yeah, it's anime, Demon Slayer.
Also by M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's what you're right. They could have definitely gone further with it.
Yeah.
I just like the narration with the you know, it was because usually I feel like with twins, it's usually like, oh my god, twins, we love each other and da da da, or like we feel each other's pain, or we're on some weird twin shit. Nah, this time they were just like some miserable fucks who lost their parents, and the more miserable one is like, I hate you because no one listens to me, and now everyone's dead, and you're all so happy and shit.
How dare you try to save? How dare my dad try to save my mom's life? Fucking asshole.
Well, I did he lie? Did he fucking lie? But yeah,
I don't know. I just want to see like a different backstory. I'm tired of the same backstory, which is I have a family and my family was killed by demons.
That is true, but that's kind of I feel like no one's gonna become a demon slayer because they're like, oh my god, my life was completely great.
But that would be funny as hell. That's what I'm saying in the live watch. I was like, yo, if we get Mitsudi's backstory and her backstory's like, oh no, my family's fine and I have a lot of great brothers and sisters and they're all happy and healthy. I just really wanted to find a really hot, strong guy, so I became a demon slayer. Like that'd be great. That's top tier backstory.
That's also stupid.
It would be hilarious.
Wait, the ninja dude. I don't think he was. I think wasn't he?
I don't remember his backstory. His backstory was just like,
was he raised, right? Was he just like, I was just raised by ninjas, so this is what I did. So this is what I do. So that counts as something. His family wasn't murdered by.
I think it's. I guess maybe.
Yeah, let us know if we're wrong.
I guess Rengoku's parents were murdered by demons. They just became abused, or his father became abusive.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like Tokiko's story was a combination of literally every other story about how someone was murdered, or
maybe it's because we got
and then Rengoku's story about how like his family, well, his dad was an ass to him, and then they kind of combined to make Tokito's.
Maybe it's also because we just got Genya's backstory, which was almost identical with his brother.
Yes,
and his family.
It was actually almost verbatim. Yeah, that is fair. That's what I was thinking about, because I was like, didn't I see this before?
This is deja vu. Didn't we see this episode?
Mm-mm. Ah, yeah. I mean, excuse me. Could have. I don't know. I just want to see the fighting. Like, let's fight. Thank you for all this background
I
story.
also.
Let's start seeing the
We
fight.
need Mitsudi's. Well, maybe one day we'll see Mitsudi actually in the show doing something, and we can get her background story. Because I don't know where the fuck she
Oh,
is.
you
She's
talking about
just,
the butterfly girl?
the green-haired ribbon chick that's apparently in the village doing
Oh,
some
me too.
shit.
Oh, her. Oh.
Yeah. She hasn't. She's been so irrelevant to the season, even though she's plastered on all the posters and art. You would think that she'd do something.
I mean, wait. There's only 12 episodes.
I think so.
Okay, so she still got like 3 episodes. You get like
Oh,
well,
yay! 3 episodes.
4, 9, 10, 11,
4.
9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah,
Well,
that's enough.
Munichiro needs to hurry up and get killed so I can see Ribbon Girl show up.
Rude.
Sorry, I'm not gonna pretend. I'm not gonna pretend he's an interesting character. He's really not. He's my least favorite of the Hashira, actually.
No, but he's such a good boy. Such a good bean. He's literally just Tanjiro, but Hashira.
Tanjiro's funnier.
Yeah. Bueno, okay. Well, I guess we'll find out next week if he's gonna die or not. Asshole.
I will bet on yes, especially since we got a backstory of his brother dying.
All right. Up next, we have Osu Gundam, Witch from Mercury, season 2, episode 7,
which was my other episode.
Yeah.
Of the week, of course. I swear, I'm just gonna fast forward every episode to the last 5 minutes and just be like, "Oh my god, what the fuck is going?"
No, you can't do that.
Because things are so mellow and chill for like the first 15 minutes of the episode, and then all hell always breaks loose in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, but that's what makes the hell so good.
Yeah.
Fucking Prospera.
Yeah, I knew she was up to some shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't trust her.
Yeah, did I think she was gonna start like a whole fucking firefight and then blow up a whole city? No.
Yes, but not in the way she did it.
No, I thought she was gonna be a little more,
sneaky.
Yeah, like just be like, I'm
maybe.
sneaky. That's
because
that's what she does. Not
bait someone else into doing.
Not
let
me just blow up a whole. Not bait someone into shooting. Like that kind of felt like her.
Yeah, like that part was like, oh shit, I forgot that could control the other Gundams.
Right, and then
which in retrospect we should have seen that coming a mile away.
And then she's like, let me just go to this random place and then blow up all these Gundams. She said, Grassley, kiss my ass. And fuck your Gundams. That is, which is, wow, that's gonna be a major blow.
Yeah.
To Shadiq.
Yeah, Shadiq mad.
Speaking of another blow to Shadiq, yeah, the way that that reveal that linked Shadiq to everything.
It's like a brain blast moment. Like, wait a second, connecting all the dots.
Right.
On
when I saw him pinned up the dude against he's like, you said the prince, right? You said the prince, and I said the prince. I said, who was called the? I said wasn't. It was cool because I feel like I connected the dots along with the cop dude. And I said when he started saying the prince over and over, I was like, oh shit. I said, oh, do you guys not know that? And then he's like, I that was the gag. The Federation didn't know Shadiq's connection to Earth. So now it's like, oh, and then I didn't know that they didn't know, so I was like, oh, and I was like,
shit.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh, right, exactly,
yeah. We all had like our brains melt at the same time.
Yeah, so that was a real good gotcha moment. Like I felt like it was done on 2 different levels. Why is Martin painting this bitch's feet?
I'm so fucking mad. If Martin gets with this hot bitch, I'm gonna be so angry.
That's
he does not deserve.
That's what you.
She
That's
is a
what
queen.
you got. That's what you got from that
yes,
scene.
she is a queen, and she deserves better than fucking Martin.
You're so stupid. Meanwhile, I'm like, Martin, why are you painting this girl's fingers for? Like, do better.
Do better? You can't do better than her. She's literally the best, the hottest girl on the show.
She's up there, I guess. But she's still a bitch, so
that adds to her.
I know, yes, I know. You want someone to just hate on you, and
also she was nice. She gave him the motivation to be honest.
She did, but why is he painting her feet? Like stand up, stand up. And he's feeling so bad about what he did. I'm like, Martin, girl, like you did what you did. I
was kind of like, oh, you didn't hear some what's her name, Nika's side. I'm like, we couldn't. We were kind of in a life or death situation. We didn't have time to listen.
Also, she wasn't saying anything. So
yeah. Also he asked and she didn't say
twice. Yeah. Right. So and I'm glad that that the Earth House was like cool with it. They weren't like, how dare you rat out the girl who may have gotten us caught up in like a terrorist spot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Excuse me.
Also, we got some more Norea and Elon.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Shipping going on. Their crazy ass shit.
The way she was just coming apart, like it was really giving Umineko.
Mm-hmm. I love how the show's like aware of how they're shipping, so like they'll have these crazy fighting moments, and then like the camera zooms in on the fact that their hands are like holding, like they're hand holding at the end. I'm like, oh yeah, but he's hand holding her to hold her back from like killing him, so it's not as romantic.
Or from her protecting from her own like meltdown that she's having.
Yeah.
And yeah, she was. Yeah, no, it was a good scene where she's like, you know, so upset, and he's like holding her at that point, and then freaking Nika's like, oh, what's wrong with her? And he's like, you literally wouldn't know. Like, you literally wouldn't know.
Nika's literally in the cuck corner. I'm just
not the cuck corner. Cuck by who?
I don't even know. That's what's so weird. It's like she's just watching. She's just there in the corner while these two bond over their literal trauma. Right. Yeah,
bond from being created to be death machines. Like,
like you wouldn't understand, Nika.
Yeah,
we're the same.
Yeah, fuck you.
Nika's just like, I just want to get out of here.
And she can't because she is dumb. And Soletta is finally getting out of her depression.
She does have good bounce back. I wish I had a strong bounce back game as.
Yeah. Oh, me too, girl. I'll be like all of the fall season. Don't talk to me. Talk to me when December comes. Not December. Sorry. Talk to me when spring comes.
Talk to me when September ends.
Oh, come on! Was that Green Day?
I think so.
Hey, it's the 2000s. That's your territory.
Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure it's Green Day. I'll bet on it. If anyone wants to take the bet in the chat, in the comments, let me know.
But yeah. Oh, the whole thing with the whole thing with girl, give me the characters. Give me the characters. Thank you. No, he's dead. He's dead. Sorry, all these dead characters look alike. With Fang, Gustan, and Belmeria.
Oh, those three. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
So apparently, whatchamacallit, Prospera sent Oh Boy to type some loose ends. Yeah, no, I think she was definitely like, yeah, you have to kill Valeria because Valeria's gonna talk. Now, I just don't know who or what this council is. I'm assuming they're another giant faction like the Bennett group.
I think so. I feel like there's going to be another season. I feel like
There
it can't
has to be.
possibly
Like,
wrap up
there's too much stuff I don't know.
They're introducing a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Like they've been, and this is not the first time I feel like this is probably maybe like the second or maybe even third time I heard this group be mentioned.
But they're not really like they're talking about in the background. They're not really doing anything yet, and I feel like they're going to be relevant soon.
Right, that part. I don't know if Feng. I think Feng was I don't know if she was she working for the Federation?
Yeah, I think she was, right? I gotta go back to the first season to remember.
Right. We don't super know.
I'm pretty sure she was. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
they didn't do a. That's my only gripe is like they didn't do a good job of solidifying of what she is or she does in relation to all of this.
But I think they were like ambiguous about it on purpose. But I think it was like hinted at that she worked for them, that she always knew where to be and stuff.
Exactly, and I think she wanted. I think she wanted. She was like, "Hey, help us undermine these people, so we can avoid bloodshed." So, and it's like the whole like I don't want bloodshed to happen. That's why I'm like, is she a third party? That's kind of like the space police, like that other dude, like you know the thick dude with the, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
There's just so many characters with so many names. And none of them are just like, "Hi, I'm Tom. I'm Kim." Like it's like Roji, Lauda, Goneri, Nivola.
I gotta save my mental brain space for the ones that are super important,
exactly.
like Selena and Grassley and all.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm looking. Where is this? I'm gagged. They don't have the space cop in the list of the characters, but they have the Turk dude who died. Why?
You get him out of there. He's
dead. Right.
Dead.
He's dead. Why is he still here? Whatever. Anyways, point is, yeah, now that she's being hunted by Prospera's lackey, I feel like she's probably gonna flip and use her information to undermine probably just everybody.
Yeah.
Or it's a race to see who if they can kill her before she starts yapping. That's like I don't know. I was just point that because that's like an interesting plot point.
There's a lot of plot points that are coming together. Also, it feels super bad for Miorine.
Right, because she just wants peace. She just wanted peace, even though she was doing it the complete wrong way at the start.
That's my one thing is like I said last time. She's just super naive.
She is.
I wish she wasn't.
She literally sat down. She's like, "So let's talk about numbers and da da da." Meanwhile, they're like, "Girl, like, how many people are dead because of your group? Why would you think we want to talk about your stupid company? We want to like stop getting murdered."
And she's like, "But I can provide jobs."
Right? She's like, "I can provide jobs and grow your economy. We're getting the girls are dying, Miordine." Yep, and just as we thought, Prospera uses opportunity and she said, "I'm gonna blow your shit up." I don't know why she'd want. The only thing I'm confused is if unless she doesn't care about who becomes president, why would she do it when Miorine is there? Like she clearly wants to like. She wanted Miorine there for a reason. Like I seem to like take the fall.
Yeah.
But why?
That I don't know yet. We'll find out.
Exactly. Like, why? Because I feel like she could have just did that
Mm.
at any time, unless she just needed like. No, I can't even say like a distraction firefight because like she literally just like went to base, blew it up, and then just dipped.
Mm.
So yeah, I don't quite understand why.
Maybe Murane is just like a side. Like she doesn't care who was there. It was just the easiest way was to go to Murane because she's so naive.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I guess we'll find out next episode.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Up next, we have Konosuba Bakuen. Whoa. Episode. What episode was this? Episode 8? 8, yes.
Yes. Technically 7 and 8 because we didn't cover it last week.
Right. We did not.
I mean, well, we did, but you know,
right.
You guys
did not hear it.
Cover
okay. So very, 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 very quickly. Not Aqua. Oh yeah, we were introduced to Aqua's church, or I should say, Megalina's.
We're in the what's it called? Axis city.
Uh-huh.
So we're introduced, which by the way, I love. I'm glad they brought that back. I was not expecting to see this whole setup in the spin-off prequel.
Yeah.
So it actually answers a lot of questions.
Yeah, and explains why Aqua is so Aqua.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it was Megumin who inspired their tactics of conversion.
Yeah, by running in front of people and trying to trick them into signing conversion forms.
It was the nun. She is so funny. I forgot what her name is. I would say the the archpriest though stole the show 100%.
Yeah, he was like the Kazuma replacement, but he was so much scummier than Kazuma even, so it was perfect.
Right, because he was like an unapologetic lolicon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they all were.
I like they go to the even including the priestess. They go to the order and the first thing, Cecily, that was her name.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing they were like, "Oh my god, Loli." she's like, sorry, Megumin, our followers are prohibited from being around children.
So yeah, that was fun. Yeah, episode 7 was them googling over Megumin, and then also Megumin teaching them how to scam people.
Mm-hmm.
So Zesta the priest. He ends up getting charged for treason. And then in this episode, he ends up getting released. Well, before that, they start doing collection votes for the new head priest. Like, damn, they were like, "No, well, I guess probably did it. Let's have elections for the new priest."
Start electing, and they're all running on wild platforms.
But ultimately, he does get released, and he was such an asshole to the woman who arrested him. He was just like, he's like, "Yes, kneel before me," or some shit like that. And he was just like, "Oh my god, how could you arrest me? Like, I'm a priest. Like, you arrest me with no evidence. Like, how could you?" Like, making her apologize over and over.
Yeah.
And then they kind of just pin everything on the demon.
Again.
And the demon attacks, and then he's just like, "Girl, I'm an arch priest. Like, you're literally like, I'm literally like your worst thing to fight."
Yeah, I do love how he was like ogling her before he found out she was a demon, and was just like, "Oh my god, Megumin, who is this beautiful seductress
demon? Who is this who's scantily clad whore of a demon. So yeah, that was funny. She eventually gets run out of the city. Decides to go straight to Axel from there. And then Cecily, I love how Cecily's still trying to get be close to them, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, Cecily," and she's like, "No, One-chan," so being kind of like this. Yeah, I guess her being kind of like a this con, lolicon, both. And Megumin, of course, before she leaves the city, she leaves her mark in it by making a quote unquote bigger pool, casting explosion.
Yeah, which explains why there's such a big pool there when they get there in the second season of Konosuba.
Yeah,
I think there was like a giant hot spring. Yeah, I love when shows like go into prequels and explain stuff that didn't even really need explaining, but it's just like nice to know.
Yeah, it's really cool. Damn. I will say I wish I remembered more of the episode. I'm not gonna lie, I was so tired yesterday that I was literally falling asleep in the middle of it. That hasn't happened in a very long time. Damn, them kids ran me ragged. Whew. I was gonna say speaking of kids, but actually there was no kids in this next episode. It was on my ranking. It was a Bebin focused episode, at least the first part. He was on his journey to I think he already I can't remember if he already was an elite at that point, or his journey on becoming an elite. But either way, he wanted to be strong enough to stand up to Espa. And I guess like anyone who wants to get strong, they just find out they go to wait, did I say Despa? I'm gonna say Bebin? No, I said I'm confusing Espa with Despa. That's what's happening.
I don't know how. How could you confuse them?
Because his name is Apeas.
I know.
it's not even close to Despa. It's Apeas. He wants to be strong like Apeas. So he goes to Despa. Which... Right. He gives the letter to... Which makes sense as to why Boji gets the letter from Kage to be trained by Despa in the first season. I forgot it was him who gave him the letter. Oh my god, there's so much that happens in this show. Although I do love I love that this season is giving background very much like Konosuba actually.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it.
Yeah. A lot of them tying things in season 1. But yeah, he also gets his training from Despa and basically teaches him how to be a badass bitch. Teaches him how to be strong. And teaches him that he should never smile, because his smile looks very scary. I will say though, I think my favorite section of the episode was, or my favorite segment was the Elite Four, when they're arguing over like castle renovations, and I guess they still can't get along.
Yeah, I do like that because it shows that they, even after everything, they're not necessarily best friends.
Yeah.
They just happen to work well together when the time calls for it.
Exactly. And yeah, I just like how they worked was very, I don't know. It's so weird how this feels almost like a kids TV show, but
yeah,
not, because
I it's like the closest thing I can think of to an all ages show.
Yes.
Like it's like I guess I want to say Adventure Time, because I can't think of another show off the top of my head. But like in the sense that you can be a kid and watch it and get one thing, but then be an adult and watch it and enjoy it for completely
Yes.
different
Very
reasons.
much like Steven Universe.
Yes, that show that I have not seen.
Yeah. Not so much the not the Steven Universe, not the one where he's a teenager. That I'm like, oh, I think that might be a little. You might have to be like a preteen. That's good for preteen teenager stuff. That's great. But yeah, no, it is very very solid because the whole them losing to the arm wrestler, them kind of coming together to learn how to take him down. The little twist at the end where he's like, "No, I'm gonna win that money. That's 600 gold, bitch. Hello."
Mm-hmm.
Which, to be fair, yeah. But yeah, no, they came together and they won, and that was really cool. It was a really cool moment. It was very, very something I would show to my kids.
Same. If I had any.
And anything, damn. I wish I had a bigger TV. I actually would watch this show with my niece and nephew. But maybe another time. I don't know. Maybe next time they come.
Mm. Yes, like to get them into anime through Ranking of the Kings. Do it.
Do it. But yeah, that was on my ranking. It was such a cute episode. Really liked it.
Yep.
Right. Up next we have Yuri Is My Job, episode 8. This is almost my episode of the week. This was almost my episode of the week. Ooh.
Yeah, it was close.
Ooh,
it was pretty.
Baby. Ooh, baby.
It's spice. It's heating up. It's getting spicy.
Because Shibana said, what we not gonna do is this lesbian triangle bullshit. Nah. She said, not on my watch.
I love how she's like, this is a workplace, not a place for relationships. I will not allow you to be with Himiko or Hime. Meanwhile, Hime and Ayano Koji are just like basically throwing themselves at each other behind her back. Like, I feel like their relationship might get in the way, maybe, if you're that concerned about relationships.
Yeah, but I think she's fine with it because they found like a good happy medium that works for them too, and it works for the cafe. And it's they're being cute with each other, but they're not they're not eating each other's pussies out in the back room. Like,
they're a few episodes away from that. Listen, when that one scene where Hime gets hugged by or says something, and then Mitsuki hugs her, and she's like grinning while she's like being smothered in her chest.
I screamed. That smug smile on the titties.
Yeah.
Had me gagged.
Just like, I win.
That was so. I was like, wow. Wow. But yeah. And I think for Chibana, because I think it's fine because it's Chibana tolerates what you call it, Hime and oh god, what's her name again? Hime and Ayano are doing because they will talk their shit out. It's like I said, it's good for business. They're having fun or whatever. They're just more. I don't think she sees like the super lovey-dovey aspects about them because they're not, compared to whatever she was thinking in her flashbacks, where those two girls, generic girl A and B, they're
slammed up against the lockers.
Exactly, like they're not getting to that point. But she's like, she sees Kaneko and she's like, yeah, girl, you're like kind of in love with Hime. and your love for her is interrupting with this very nice dynamic. So I'm gonna need you to stop.
Literally trying to ruin the entire theme of the cafe.
Yes. Literally ruining it with everybody. Yes, you're ruining it for literally everybody. Like, multiple times you had to stop her. Which is wild. And at first she tries to play around with Kaneko, and she's like, oh, okay, you know. She's like, if this will make you happy, just because you don't want them to be Western sisters.
Schwestern. Bloom Schwestern.
You don't want them to be Bloom Schwesters. Fine. She's like, fine. I will make it so that I'll win. Like, you vote for me. Hime's not gonna win. I was so gagged how Hime wasn't last. That gagged me.
It's like, oh, they love you, so they're voting for your sister.
Maybe so much that we both be so much that we just want your sister to win. But yeah, and then it works out. So because Yano's gonna vote for her, Kaneko's gonna vote for her, it should be fine. So my thing is, of course, at the end, where she's like, so now that you are gonna be Bloom, can we abolish Schwesterners or Schwesters or whatever? I cannot say it. Schwestern, yes. Can we abolish the Schwesterns? And I'm just like, whoa!
100 IQ plan.
Yes, 100 IQ minus 150 IQ. She's like, you'll do anything for me, right? Abolish the Schwesterns. I'm like, no.
I love her looking in the mirror too. She's like, has like these crazy eyes and shit.
Right, and then I loved how she was like, oh, I tried giving you an inch and you're taking a mile. Now I must destroy you. And I'm just like, yes, destroy her. Please.
So it seems she did catch a picture of the hair.
Oh, yeah, she said, absolutely. She said, you're going to stop. Or else I'm going to let everyone know how you get down.
Shoo.
And I'm like, yes, bitch, you better stop this crazy bitch in her tracks.
I'm curious to see where this goes, because that Kaneko looks like she's about to do some crazy shit.
No, I can't wait.
I'm expecting at least one Sumika slap.
You think who's gonna slap? You think someone's gonna slap Sumika?
Oh, I think Sumika's gonna slap Kaneko.
Oh yes, can't wait. Awesome.
Yeah, like, get some sense in you. Slap. Hopefully in the middle of the cafe.
Right. Because Kaneko, even now, she's just like, oh my god, is this real? Are they real sisters? Are y'all lesbians? Are y'all dating? Are you in love? Like, that's all she's been doing this entire episode. I'm over it. I'm over her. She can go. You already know how I feel about Kaneko. All my homies hate Kaneko.
True. I'm not that much of a even though she's a yandere and I usually love yanderes, she's my least favorite girl on the show. So I think you'd be hard pressed to find anyone who roots for Kaneko.
Boom. Anyways, moving on to we have Yuusha got Shinda episode 7. Nope. 8. Episode 8.
Yes.
First of all, I screamed when literally I think it's within the first couple of minutes. They literally said, "Yeah, everyone died of something as silly as a pitfall." I was like, this show is so good. This show is so
yeah.
A lot happened, I feel like.
Yeah, we had a whole setup for I want to call it a fight, but it's not really. It was like a kind of ambush, reverse ambush.
Yeah.
They ambushed the ambush.
Ambush the ambush. Um so after surviving a trap by countering with a trap,
Mm.
you realize that this bad girl,
Oh, she is a bad girl.
she is a bad girl. She, after her attempt to kill them fails and they corner her, it's revealed to be his Toka's quote unquote sensei.
Mm-hmm.
Who initially taught him how to make traps. And you know, he's after embarrassing and humiliating her, he's like, okay, now basically help me do so and so. I forget why she agrees to help. That kind of leaves my mind.
Well, he tricks her if she holds onto the sword. I think she had stabbed.
Oh yeah, right.
It's a trap. It's another trap.
Yeah, another trap. Yeah, I think they go to some place to get the car fixed. I think she agrees to take them there.
Yeah, and it turns out to be the actual legendary hero's was it grandfather's house?
Yeah.
Or father's house?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a grandfather's house. It made me feel so sad.
Basically, I have bad eyesight. He starts pouring the
tea on everybody. That was so funny.
One by one, and they're just looking at him like, "Why are y'all just
no
letting
one's correcting him? They're just letting him. Like Henri is looking in fear, like, no, don't pour tea on me. just lets it happen. Yeah, that was pretty funny. And yeah, I will say Toko was really cool this episode though. Between the whole trap fight and then the whole speech at the end where he's like kind of talking about his resolve to get shit done. I was like, I kind of respect you.
We also find out that he was the one who kind of helped out what's her name now? Yuna in the 3 years ago by setting up all those traps so that the hero can actually go save her.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like it because we get a lot of redeemable aspects to his character, even though he's still kind of trash.
Yeah, he's not just a slimy, awful pervert.
He does have some redeemable
Right.
qualities.
But yeah, trying to think of anything else that happened.
No, this was mostly just set up and also a pretty good fan service episode.
Yeah. All right. I think we're gonna move on to last anime of the podcast because I'm like, girl, we are in it deep. Vinland Saga, season 2, episode 20.
Yes, was this one the aftermath of the battle?
Yes, this is the aftermath. Well, I guess we can talk about both. So in episode 19, it's a bunch of people who are like clearly like, haha, yeah, we're gonna fight and da da da. Even though Thorgil is basically saying like, yeah, these people are gonna get slaughtered, but I'm not telling you why. Whatever, fighting the king's forces, but you need to build up morale. So we're just gonna build you up to die, essentially. You know, which we find out was all distraction tactic, so he can like assassinate the king while they're busy fighting the farmers and what have you. Like, you know, Thorgil was very aware that they'd be fucked in like a true like fight. Um, Snake also kind of gets his gang ready to fight. He's like, y'all can run, and then the gang's like, nah, we gang, we gonna stand behind you.
Which they regret.
Because baby, cut to Fox being like, oh, I'm watching. He literally watches his homie's hand get cut off. Although shout out to him, because the other dude was holding his own in the fight. Like, even with one hand, he wasn't like, oh my god, my hand. He was like, bitch, we still fighting.
They used like a rotoscoping technique too, so it actually looked really, really cool.
Yeah.
The animation.
Yeah, agreed. I thought Keto died when he was telling people to like run away.
Oh, when he got yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He almost did.
He
got like sliced.
Yep. He survived by the skin of his teeth.
I knew he was gonna survive. I was like, he's either gonna die immediately or survive and be like the last surviving dude. Although I guess not, because his sons are both alive.
Yep. Dorigil indeed attacks the prince, the king, excuse me.
Wow, I can't believe you called him. He's gonna come.
Right, please, oh my god, please don't poison me.
Canute,
or at least put poison a food I like, so I like that my last meal.
Yeah, be careful next time you go to Korean barbecue. You see Canute coming out with a plate.
But yeah, Canute holds his own for a minute. A literal minute, because he dodged that blow and he's like, oh cool, the blow like fucked up my hand. Guess I can't fight now. And then the Kingsguard comes back just in time and fights Thorgil off of him. First of all, Thorgil is wild. Yeah, it's giving. He's literally just. He's kind of like mini Thorkel, or just like another Thorkel.
Yeah, he's like pretty much Thorkel.
Right, because he came up, almost killed the dude. Strong. Like, I don't know, like ripped some dude's eyes out while getting choked out, and then with his injuries, he said, "Oh, time to swim back!" Like, just swims away. That's insane. That's insanity to me. Rest in peace to Arnhide.
Yeah. Controversial, but I really hate. Well, maybe it's not controversial. I really hate how Arnhide's character, or like Einar's character, is tied to Arnhide. Like, I don't know why we did this whole thing where he loves her. It didn't make any sense.
Because he didn't know that she had a husband, or
yeah, but even after finding out, like, I think I think it would have made more sense if he saw her as like his sister or mother, because he lost his sister or mother. It would have made more sense for his character to be like, oh, she reminds me of the people I failed to protect in the past, as opposed to like, she's the person I love.
I mean, either way, it would prompt the same reaction, so I'm not.
Yeah, but it doesn't. The whole loving just didn't feel really, because she never reciprocated it, and it was like it just felt like he was going out of his way for no reason.
But you know, your first love's your first love.
Yeah,
like he's young, like he's young, like he's not 30 like us, who's like knows what it is.
I didn't need to be 30 to be like, I'm not gonna simp for a married woman who does not give a shit about it in that way.
And I guess I personally don't think it was that big of a deal. I'm just sad that she's gone. Also, because I watched the first couple episodes, shout out to that callback from season 1 where it's there's some real. It's a real cool, really awesome, and I know they did it on purpose. Not analogy I'm thinking of.
Metaphor?
No, I think it's kind of like how basically. Do you remember the first? You probably don't. No, you definitely don't because it came out in 2019. But it's the same. It's the same thing. It's the parallel. The parallel that was drawn between season 1 and this episode. And you probably don't remember where Thorfinn's dad found that slave and tried saving him with CPR, and now cut to this episode where Thorfinn is trying to save Arnheid with the same using CPR. Him trying to free a slave who is escaping from somewhere.
Okay.
But dies
I would have not remembered.
On the way out.
Definitely not remembered that.
Right, no, that's only because I just watched the episode like last month or in February. I was like, wow, come on, parallels. That was, that was a very full circle moment, because it's like it just shows that he finally reached that place that it took his father so long to get to.
Right.
Where he was just like, I'm done with the fighting. I feel like this episode kind of just, for me, it just showed how I'm like, oh, this is really showing how like kind of Thorfinn through all of this kind of just repeats the cycle and eventually just becomes just like his dad.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it's a good parallel.
Yeah. Because eventually he's just like, because he even tells, I think he says it to Leaf or Einar, where he's just like, yeah, I thought it was lame that we ran away and found like Iceland and started our whole life there to run away from the wars. But he's like, I get it now. He's like, I understand it. He's like, he's like, I thought they were lame, but no, you were actually very strong for doing that. Which is what he's doing right now. So, yeah, the whole full circle moment.
It's all connected.
That was really cool. Oh my god, next episode. I don't know what's gonna happen next episode. But we got four more episodes?
I think so. Well, next episode is confrontation between Canute and
right.
Thorfinn, so that'll be good.
Yes. He said, I need to go see Canute. I'm just like, okay, you clearly don't see the plan to fight them. How's this gonna happen?
Probably sneak into his tent.
Maybe. I don't know, we'll see. I'm really excited for it.
Yep. Same.
Yeah, but with that being said, we are done. Our weekly review. We're done with this long ass podcast. Only take us the F away.
Guys, if you enjoyed this episode of this week's Waifu Wars podcast, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to catch every episode as it goes up every week. If you haven't already, do follow us over on Twitch, follow us on Twitter, and join the party on our Discord. All linked in the description down below. Drew, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I hope everyone's having a wonderful, by the time this comes out, I hope you had a good Memorial Day weekend and had a lot of rest and relaxation. And bitch, it's Pride Month.
Yep. Happy Pride, everyone.
Yeah, I'm gonna be as gay and as annoying as ever, so look out for that.
And on that note, this has been Sobroni, and we'll catch y'all later. Later.
Bye.